in life. There's greatness inside of you. Let's do greatness with love. Unleash it in the greatness of His love. Transformation that you can have, coming from God above. Welcome to the greatness hub. Welcome to the greatness hub.
Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Coach Yanni of Travel Pamor, your travel guide online show. So today we are going to present to you episode 9, which is entitled um, Travel on Purpose, Business, and Pleasure. Okay, so today is August 10, and this is it is 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so we will be together for about an hour. And those who have subscribed, please continue watching our shows. And those who have not subscribed, please click on the bell button below. Okay, so today we are very honored and fortunate that we have invited a guest, and good that he said yes, from Malaysia. Our episode will be talking about the different lovely experiences that our traveler had gone through. Actually, our speaker is a Malaysian, and he is a colleague and friend and a business partner. He also belongs to the academy like me. So, of course, he is a seasoned traveler. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you our special guest for today's episode. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Hafiz Damiri. Bro, you may come in.
Yeah, thank you very much,
Yeah,
Doc. How are you?
and welcome to the show. This is Travel Pamor.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Pandemic, there are still a lot of opportunities that we can do.
Yes, yes.
Not off-handed to do other things that we don't believe before that we can do. Okay, so the show is very much honored to have you as our special guest. Of course, I understand that you are doing great in terms of travel, that business or vacation wise. Okay, whether
Yeah.
alone or together with the family, and that's what we are going to talk about in the next hour. Okay.
Yeah.
First, can you introduce first yourself? What are you doing, and what are maybe something new that I don't know that you have been doing? Okay, so go ahead, bro.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Almacen, and fellow audience. My name is Hafiz. I'm from Malaysia. Basically, I'm basically a consultant on HR and also doing trainings. Because I also I know Dr. Almacen far way back in 2007, 2008.
Yeah,
We were studying in the same university, and then we met through a conference. So since then we have been friends for quite some time. And now, basically, I'm just doing some trainings and consultation works, uh, mainly on HR and certain project managements.
That's right. And I remember we attended the conference together, and ever since, whenever I am in Malaysia, there is no time that you are not going to meet me, and I feel very safe and comfortable when I am in Malaysia because I know I'm in good hands with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much
very
for
much.
that. And of course, you're coming to Philippines once in a while. Make me also honored and get connected with you and share our projects now and in the future. Okay, so I understand, bro, that you have. I will call
Yes.
you bro. That you
Yes.
have been traveling a lot. Okay, and since the title of the episode is something about business and pleasure travel, maybe
Mhm.
you can share first your initial travel. When did you start traveling and with whom and why did you travel?
Okay, my first travel experience is basically alone. When I was with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I was traveling alone to Vientiane in Laos. So this was having a meeting basically. So at first, being a junior officer and then traveling in the foreign service, it really opens up your mind to be very independent, and then to adapt and adopt the cultures of and the norms of the local. So once it's basically when I traveled to Vientiane. Luckily, it's basically we can adapt. The food is quite good, and
Uh-huh.
then the environment is more or less like any Asian countries that you travel.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
there too.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that's basically my first travel alone. Um,
Yeah. When
my first yeah
okay, go ahead.
this was in 2005.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
So
in your travel, especially when you were alone, of course, there are certain feelings, and it happened to me the first time I traveled out of the country.
yeah.
In 2007, I think I went to Hawaii. So in your case, how did you find your travel outside of Malaysia?
Well, being traveling with my parents before, so abroad, so it really teaches me that you have to do what you have to survive when you are alone overseas, uh, if be it for work or just for tourism activities.
Yeah.
So for like my instance, being for work, so it's basically going to the hotel, going to the meeting area, and then going back to the hotel, and then you just have your time alone, just to explore for a few hours the city, the local scenario, the local environment, the local scenes, and then you just go back to your hotel and then go up the next day for another meeting. So it really teaches you how to be very independent, and you have to be street smart as well. Beforehand, we don't have that luxury of roaming internet during those days. So we have to learn beforehand before going. Okay, what are the norms, the do's and the don'ts, and then the foods and the places that you can go. Those are the tough.
Okay, so traveling in Asian countries does not give you a lot of difference in terms of the way of life, the way maybe mode of dressing or food that you eat.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's not too far, no. As I had experienced that too.
Yeah.
When was your first travel outside of the Asian countries?
My first travel outside of this region was in 1996 with my family, with my parents, to UK. So actually, I've been traveling with my parents way back in 1983, 84, 85, basically in
Oh,
Europe,
okay.
because my parents are, you know, um, my parents are furthering their studies at that time.
Mhm.
So we had the opportunity to be abroad when I was small. So it's like 5 or 4 at that time. But then it was different. Um, then when my next travel with my parents in 1996, 97,
Uh-huh.
when they did their studies again, uh, we were based in UK. So, well, UK is just like a normal another country that you might go and travel, but people go to UK because it has the richness of the history, the majesty of the countryside, and then the varieties of races and people. In UK itself. So since I followed my parents in the northwest part of UK,
Mhm.
so it is a very nice environment, a very nice scene. I went to school there. I did my O levels there, and then the environment is so different from other parts of the country because especially in UK, because when you talk about being a minority or majority, but in the place where I stayed with my parents, there is no such thing as being a minority or majority. It's everyone doing his or her own business. And then during that time, we did travel to Ireland, and then to France, and then to Netherlands. Yeah, so it's basically family travel, but with the parents. So yeah, you don't have that kind of a luxury of being independent and explorative at that time.
Okay, very good. It's nice to hear that. So,
Yeah.
traveling, be it business or vacation or together with the family, it's nice to know that you have stayed and studied in the UK for some time. How long was that?
Yes, I did. It was for 2 years, 96 and 97. Yeah.
Yeah, so during these travels, whether it is vacation or business travel, especially when
Mm.
you are already on your own,
Yeah.
a family man, what challenges have you experienced? And can you share that to our televiewers?
Okay, basically there are two aspects, and you have to look at two aspects basically. The first is traveling alone, and then the second aspect is the traveling with family members. Okay, well, traveling alone, I did travel with I had the opportunity of traveling with my parents again, my father and my mother, to Europe, just accompanying them. But then they were there for just like a couple of weeks, and then I stayed on for another couple of weeks. So being separated from my parents after sending them off at the airport, and then I'm all alone, and then I'm independent. I have time to
Yeah,
explore and whatnot. So it really you have that sense of joy, but at the same time you have that kind of responsibility to take care of yourself, to be safe,
yeah,
because you are all alone in a foreign country. Well, even though that you've been there for a couple of times, but then things change. Okay, people can be very helpful. For example, especially in Netherlands. This is a good country. Netherlands. Luckily, I stayed in Amsterdam. I sent my parents off in Amsterdam, so they went back to Malaysia. So I continued with my holidaying journal, holidaying experience in the Netherlands. So I had the opportunity to explore, like going to museums, going to parks, having roadside foods like at the stalls. First time of having a herring at a stall in Amsterdam, just alone, and then just observing the people doing their own business, and then is a very nice weather, and then you have time to explore, but at the same time you have to have some list that you want to do. Maybe what are the activities that you want to do. For example, if you're staying in like myself, I'm staying in Amsterdam for like 3 days extra.
uh,
Okay, the first day I'm going to do something, so basically exploring the whole city. Okay, the second day I'm going to find some souvenirs, and then the third day basically you have to do another activity before you pack your bags and move on to another country. So this will be the good routine for any solo travelers that would like to do that.
okay, so there are a lot of learnings, no, on your part, particularly,
Yeah.
you were challenged a lot. So, uh, significantly, there are a lot of things that you have uh, discovered on your own that you are able to do by yourself, right?
Yes.
This means
Yes.
that how about some difficulties like in terms of language and probably the culture of the people? How did you adjust to this kind of things?
Okay, like for example, if you're traveling in Europe, language is not that such a barrier because most of the nationals in Europe, they are able to speak English,
Uh-huh.
be in Netherlands, be in Germany, be in Sweden, be in Finland, or even in Poland itself. But for example, in France, I had opportunity of traveling in France back in 2013. It's basically a mixture of business and pleasure because we had that conference and then I had 2 weeks additional for leave. So I took my leave and explore Europe again. So alone. So basically, in France, they have this language, you know, language disability. It's not that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
don't want to speak English, but you have to parlez-vous français? You have to introduce yourself in French, and then at the same time, if your French is not that good, so you just, je suis désolé, mes français, mes français est je parle en français un peu. So basically, I
yeah.
speak a little French, and then you can just speak English. So yes, at times then you can speak English with them after you introduce yourself in French. So like German, well, they know that you are a foreigner basically from your skin, and then from the way that you speak, you
And
know.
probably the size, no, because we are.
Yeah, and then the size as well. Yeah, we have the same size, dog.
Yeah,
So bro, so
we
and
are
then
identical with the size.
yeah. So being in Germany, for example, you can speak English. You just can go and then okay, they can just give a guten tag, and then they will just speak in German. So I'm sorry, I cannot speak German. Can you
Yeah,
speak in
that's
English?
That's also my Waterloo. No, I'm very afraid of speaking German in France. Probably
Yeah.
Italian is very near Spanish. I can speak a little Spanish. I can understand Spanish. Okay,
Mm.
so how about traveling with your own family? Like you travel with kids. How many kids do you have, by the way?
Yeah, I have two.
You have two, and you have experience traveling with kids too.
Yeah, basically we traveled to Europe in last was 2019
Mm-hmm.
after I met you in Manila. So after we got back from Manila, we had our vacation in Europe again.
Wow.
So we traveled to UK and then to France, to Germany, to Netherlands, and back to UK before going back home in KL. So being a family person, you see, you have to think and plan for your kids as well. Like for example, like you have grandkids, so whether the environment suits them or not, whether the food will suit them or not, and then what type of clothes that you have to bring,
Correct.
and
Oh,
then especially in luggage. Definitely, when you go to any travels, you definitely would like to have some souvenirs brought back. Like myself, definitely, yeah. I love going to the UK because I've studied there, I've lived there, and then most of the foods that I'm accustomed to in UK, like certain cereals, certain chocolates that you can't get here in Malaysia or in this region, especially, and then certain chips, that you can get in the UK. So most of this, basically that when we travel, I'll be bringing my huge bag, not the cabin bag, is basically the luggage bag, the huge one, and
uh-huh.
then inside there is basically clothes with another bag, a cabin bag, a bit smaller bag, put inside the big bag with my clothes in it, with the whole family's clothes, so that when you go there, when you buy stuff, you don't have to buy another bag. They say that the bag is going to give birth to another bag and another bag. So meaning in excess luggage. So when I travel like that with family, definitely I'll bring in a huge bag, two huge bags.
Right.
Within the huge bags, yeah, with the two a bit smaller bags so that we can put our clothes in.
Okay. So these are challenges that you experience when you travel probably from your or home country to the airline, to the airport, to the place of destination. Now,
Yeah,
what I am thinking about is that how about activities? Of course, you have friends there already.
yeah,
So you get connected with people, and how about activities? We feel comfortable doing our thing in our own home country. Or when you get to another
Mhm.
country, there is some, some adjustments that you can experience. So, can you tell us how did you go about it, and what's the advantage or disadvantage of being in another country?
Okay, like when we go to Europe, our Europe trip in 2019, basically we pre-plan in the early of the year. Okay, where do we want to go for this year? Before the pandemic starts.
Mm.
Basically we plan. Okay, we go to UK, we go to France, we go to Germany, and we go to Netherlands, and then we go back to UK before going back to KL. So the whole 3+ weeks we have to pre-plan. Okay, what do we do when we arrive in London? Okay, getting a train, getting a tube, going to a bus station in central London, then taking a bus to France, to Paris. So what happens in Paris then? Okay, when we check in the hotel, and then okay, we just drop our bags. Okay, we just walk to the Eiffel Tower, going to Trocadero, just explore the areas there, the closest areas. Okay, then the second day, okay, what do we explore? The next day, going to Notre Dame, or just going to the Louvre, or just having some activities planned, pre-planned. And then maybe on the third day, the second day, after you staying there, maybe go for shopping souvenirs like handbags.
Yeah.
My parents always likes to to get me to for me to get stuff like bags, like watches, and then other things like uh, certain French souvenirs, besides the Eiffel Tower keychain. So they know that okay, since we've been there, okay, can you bring us back this? Okay, when you go here, can you bring us
And
some back
it's,
here, some things?
exchange.
Yeah.
It's very common among the Asians now. We have souvenirs when we get.
Yes.
So when they know that you are traveling, they will be asking to bring something like that.
Yeah, so
I
basically
have,
it's not basically our luggage, but it's theirs as well. So when you go to okay, and then when you plan to go to another country, okay, you have to plan where do you want to stay? Is it close
ahead.
to certain certain places like foods, some certain shops, a mini mart or whatnot, a convenience shop, or malls, or or places of interest like parks, museums, and then when you go to another country, you have the same plan as well, but then you have to pre-plan in advance, and then you have to do the best part of traveling either alone or with family, besides for work,
Okay.
is that you can get where you can stay is the cheapest, and then everything has been what to get in terms of transportation, in terms of food, in terms of souvenirs and everything.
And
So you
activities
know where to
that you
stay.
can do.
Yeah.
And the activities that you can possibly do.
Yes.
I was just thinking about how do it appears to your children. I mean, of course, they will be out of the house, and probably activities will be limited. But what excitement do you see in them that makes a difference? Just staying at home or going nearby places other than going out of the country.
Well, let's say, for example, we just bring our kids to the Science Museum in London, for example. So it's just well, walking in London is quite nice because the weather is cold and then it's not that hot. So when you go to certain places that really takes the interest of the children itself, so you know that they are also they know that you are entertaining their needs. You
Okay.
know, yeah, children in terms of travel, they don't eat that much. It's basically enjoyment, being to a foreign place, and then getting to play snow or whatnot. So these are the things that you have to take the children's interest at first.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So, aside from, of course, this is another way of learning another country, their culture, their way
Yeah.
of life. How do they live? What are systems that work in their country? Probably we can share when we get back to our own country. Okay,
Mm.
so I was just thinking that these experiences now gives us an opportunity to become a better person, discover yourself,
Mhm.
uh, be able to learn the things that you are able to do. You don't believe you can do that before. So, what are the significant realizations that you have now because you traveled? No, of course, in our case, like in the Philippines, if you travel abroad, of course, they look at you as you have a lot of money,
Yeah.
you can afford, or
Basic.
you can share a lot of stories. But in your case, uh, it takes some pride, no? In my case, that people look up at you, that you are somebody who is fulfilled or something. So, what some sort of fulfillment or significant discoveries and realization that you had experienced because you
Okay.
travel?
Yeah, and because every person has their own childhood. So basically, I believe most of us during our childhood when we watch TV, oh, I want to go here. Oh, I want to go here one day. That day will come. For example, like I love my trip. I really love a trip during in 2008. Even though it's attending a course, but I went for a course in Japan. So I managed to go to Tokyo, Hiroshima, and Osaka. So in Malaysia itself, basically in our region, basically we learn about how the Japanese invaded Southeast Asia, and then the Americans bombed Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and then the building that is still standing in Hiroshima is still there. So when I was there, it's like, okay, I read this in my history books, and now I'm
Yeah,
just
before,
facing it in front of me.
yeah, or
So yeah,
encyclopedia,
yeah.
we
So
read in the National Geographic or a lot of things.
yes,
That's read, and having to experience that personally gives you some sort of feeling of contentment, and you take pride in
yeah.
knowing this. Okay, so anyway, let's go to work. Let's talk about things that you do. I understand that you are connected with Schwarzwasser Training and Consultancy. Of course,
Yeah.
uh, I am very familiar with this because we have
Yes.
partnered with this. So, can you tell us what this company is doing and how it's doing?
So
This time of pandemic, there are some restrictions that we cannot just do anything we want, like travel or get connected with people, but we can do things online. So, how do you do it with Schwarzwasser?
okay, for that, basically most of the trainings or consultancy is being done online. So and then we remodel most of our courses or programs so that is basically for everyone to share and enjoy and to learn new things every day. So like for us in Malaysia, everything that we have is for sharing with other people. So like what we had with you, bro Almacen,
Yeah,
is basically we have linkage with PowerLink. Yeah, and then but sadly the pandemic is basically taken over by events basically in the
correct.
pandemic.
And
Yeah,
here
so
the
we
same.
have something planned, but then we have to remodify itself so that we can do courses, basic courses online. And then I did discuss with some of my colleagues as well that instead of yeah, they can pay for the courses and basically we just charge the minimum fee, and then you can enjoy certain courses that you can select, and then from that fee basically most of the 40%, for example, if we charge a basic course for a couple of days, for $50, for example, it's around 2,000 something pesos, is it?
Yeah,
So it's basically like when you charge this much, okay, $40 goes to some charities that we donate,
yeah,
like food boxes, like giving charities to giving some charities like food boxes, just providing to some welfare homes, old folks homes, or even orphanages. So basically the $10 is basically for maintaining the course itself.
okay.
Yeah.
Nice to hear. Um, for this training and consultancy that you do, can you give examples of programs that you do so that our televiewers will be able to know? Maybe they may be interested in your program.
Yeah. So basically, like what we do in the company is basically like we do some business enrichment programs, and then as well as management and leadership, and then business development. So at the same time, maybe I can show you some of the programs that we have. Maybe I can share some the screen with you.
Yeah, yeah, please.
So basically, like this, I think uh, okay, nice view of KL actually. Okay, basically, we are established in Malaysia for a number of years, and then which incorporates knowledge, skills, experience, and expertise in the areas of relative industries around the globe. So it's basically what you have. We make it relevant again to you, so that you know that what are your niche areas. And then yes, you have to basically we start as we start somewhere, like you and me, whatever we do, we start somewhere, that maybe we know that knowledge is more important than money. And then teaching a man to how to fish instead of giving him fish every day. So this is what we focus on. We focus on those global individuals, entrepreneurs, and organizations, and then we focus on their how to develop their strategy, flexibility, and change. Because the environment is very volatile now. So you have to have some strategies. You have to be flexible, and you have to change.
Yeah, nice.
So okay. Yeah. So these are the things that we do, basically human development, media relations, and creative content. But I'm just focusing on one aspect of it, is basically human development, in which you know already about this.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. So under this, basically we have three aspects, as like business enrichment, management and leadership, and also business development. So under business enrichment, we have integrated behavior modification technique. It's more towards psychology kind of team. And then we have a design thinking course, basically to teach you not about critical thinking, but how to think in an aspect like beyond the box.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have some programs in management and leadership, for example. Team enrichment, it's not about team building. You don't build teams. You enrich the teams. You enrich the people so that they become more better every day.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we have some lean management and leadership programs with some assessments, as well as presenting some case studies that could give some exemplary on individual leadership. Then we go on to next aspect is the business development, where this is where we talk about halal logistics, and then the halal food preparation, as well as halal supply chain, as well as and also halal tourism. So these are the courses, that we are. These are the programs that we are trying to provide to everyone across the world. So please feel free, to contact us. You have my contact details, so bro, so no problem. And then
Yeah. And for the market in the Philippines, of course. And thank you very much
yeah,
for the opportunity to be working with you, and hopefully things will get better soon.
yeah. And I really wanted to go back to Philippines, and meet you, and then we can just go out after our programs, and then
Yeah. And that's the meaning of business and pleasure. Okay, so bro, there has been a lot of learnings that you have shared, and of course we learned that when we talk about travel, you can travel with your family, and this can be a very good bonding moments, where you
Uh-huh.
share your experiences and let the kids, in particular, know what you're doing, and they understand how
Yes.
and why you are doing it, and they will
Yeah.
really appreciate that you are doing it for our greatness and for their future too. Okay.
Yes.
Other thing is that you have shared a lot of information that probably gives our televiewers an insights or ideas on when they travel on their own. Of course, I learned a lot from it also. As we share a lot of travels too, then we learn from each other on how we go about traveling in terms of preparation when you are
Yeah.
already there, activities that we can do, and then self discoveries. There is no such thing as you're too old to learn. No, we can always learn from each other. Okay, so
Yeah.
it was very fortunate that uh, I was able to invite you to my channel, and this show will give you a lot of opportunities also for us to deal with each other and share information that can help us to become great. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. We have heard our special guest for today from Malaysia, Dr. Hafiz Damiri. Let us give him a round of applause, and we would like to thank him for accepting the invitation to be our special guest for today's episode. So once again, let's give a round of applause to Dr. Damiri. Okay, this time I would like to summarize what we have learned for today. Okay, so as I was saying, this is episode 9, which is entitled Travel on Purpose, Business, and Leisure. Okay, so uh, today we have talked about the different types of the purpose of travel, I should say, such as business travel and the different uh, benefit and shared experiences by our special guest speaker. And then traveling alone or solo travel, travel with friends maybe, and then the family travel. I told that this is a very good bonding moment with the family and see how the children uh, are and appreciate what happens during travel with family and travel with groups, and then luxury travel that is done because you have nothing to do and you would like to do something else, and then adventure travel was done in the previous episode. Okay, so lastly, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank I Help Coaching and Business Solutions for the opportunity to be with uh, this channel, of course, the Greatness Hub channel, which continuously supports our programs, and then, of course, my company, ABCS Plus Travel and Tours. Okay, you can find us at ABCS Plus Travel at gmail.com. Can send uh, email and to know more information about our company. And this is our website. Log on to http://www.wch.com slash ABCS Plus. And then, of course, our telephone number is 0915-501-5637. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite everyone to watch our shows. Like and subscribe to my channel by clicking the bell button below. So let us discover, develop, and dominate our greatness within. And I would like to invite you to our other shows, which happens every Tuesday. We call it Tuesday Power Greatness. 12 to 1, it's prayer time by uh, Coach Ira. 3 to 4, of course, Travel Pa More by Coach Yanni. 4 to 5, Great Shopping by Coach Harvey. And 5 to 6, Teacherpreneur by Coach Marife. 6 to 7, Teaching Out of the Box by Coach Curry. 7 to 8, Transform by Coach Jaren. And 8 to 9, Speaks with Success by Coach Says. So, with that, we would like to thank all our televiewers for watching, and please continue watching our shows. Okay? So, thank you so much for spending time being with us for about an hour. Expect for more episodes to come. The next episode will be talking about overseas migrants workers, the pride of the Filipino. That's opposite 10, which happens on August 17. So thank you so much. Magandang hapon. Bye-bye.
ABCS Plus Travel and Tours, WCA Travel Affiliate, is dedicated to provide affordable, quality, competitive travel and hospitality products and services to every lifestyle-conscious consumer all across the globe. ABCS Plus Travel and Tours wants to fulfill WCA Travel's mission, which is to be of great help to every individual or family, so they can have extraordinary travel experiences by giving them only the best options for their travel needs. Book with with us and enjoy big discounts, awesome promos, and tour packages. ABCS Plus Travel and Tours at your service for your travel needs. What are you waiting for? Book now. Travel the world. Live the dream. Make a difference.